Hey guys, ILene Vick here for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. It is Sunday, April 11th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I am live. Let's get our coloring on. Let's have fun. Come on in, take your time. Settle in. Zoom in. Zoom in. Yeah, something went weird with the broadcast. In. Okay, good. Thank you for letting me know. Just give me a number, please. That helps me. Zoom in. There we go. Zoom out. Zoom out. Okay, we're there. We're good to go. Okie dokie. Let me pull my camera out just a little bit. Make sure you guys can see everything. So come on in, get yourself settled. Okay, I got Happy Mail today. I have no idea what this is. Don't you just love Facebook? Oh, yay! Oh my gosh, guys, look what came today. It's a color wheel. Rhonda, did you send it? Ooh, yay! Was that you, Rhonda? Either you're guessing or you told me what it was just before I pulled it out. Oh, Rhonda, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, how cool. Pick, point, match. Pick a starting color. Point to the chosen color with the star on the geometric shape and the value numbers of each color for a new harmonious combination. And see what's really neat about this? So here's the green to give you the quad, the triadic. I love it. Rhonda, thank you, thank you. Okay. And then here's the instructions on how to do it. So there's the things for all the primary colors. Uh-oh, now you're making me feel guilty. Here, let me cut the instruction book so that I just have the English. Rhonda, you're a peach. Thank you. There we go. I love it. I love it. And you know what I'm going to do? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pic of each issue here, you know, each coloring, and I will post that to the group. We'll see, Maddie. How neat. So here's all the information. I think I'm about to have a very unhappy FedEx delivery man. Oh, yay, I've been really wanting this. Thank you. And it's just one of those things, Rhonda. I was buying so many books for the group, I just couldn't budget it at the moment. Okay. All right. My desk is blown up. Yes, it has. Let me see here. Let me do something here. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, so zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. All right, so this is from, and of course, well, not of course, that's a negative sounding thing. All right, so from Rhonda, Green. There we go. Cool. 4/11/21. Thank you, Rhonda. How cool is that? Ooh, my birds are too loud. All right, get group. We are blessed. We are blessed. Da, 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 da. Okay. So let me find a little storage spot for this. I don't know if I'm going to keep it in my bag. No, I'm not. Oh, how cool. Zoom out. Zoom out. Rainbow, pick, point, and match. Yeah, that is so neat. Thank you, guys. You guys are just so great. We are family. Ta-ta. Oh, Stephanie, what happened? You said you had a bad day. What's going on? Okay. Okie dokie smoky. Zoom out. Ben gets the staples out on the 19th. Yay! zoom out. So I'm going to work a little bit on our fat lady. There we go. Your aunt and your little cousin. Oh, Stephanie, I'm so sorry. Well, Stephanie, come in here. We love you. Can we say a prayer for you, Stephanie? Let me know if we can say a prayer for you. All right. Yes, we can. All right. So, guys, let's take a second, please. Lord God, in the holy name of Jesus Christ, Stephanie has brought to us that she had family loss today. Her aunt and her little cousin passed away. Lord God, we ask for peace for the family. We ask that you scoop these two people up in your loving arms. I hope that they were children of yours and that you welcome them to you. Lord God, please help Stephanie and everyone else in her family come to you for peace for this, with this. It will be hurtful, of course, but Stephanie knows that we all love her in this group and that I'm glad that she feels that she can come in here and tell us what's going on and feel the love. Lord God, bring her family peace. In her issues with these deaths. We thank you, Lord God, for listening to our petition to you. In the holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Oh. So sorry. And thank you for your supportive prayers, guys. You're welcome, Stephanie. That's what we do here. Okay. All right, so I'm going to do a couple of things now. La-da-dum. La-da-da-dum. Okay. La-da-dum. I also wanted to thank you guys for ordering through the affiliate list. Yeah, Sandra, you missed a prayer, but that's okay. Stephanie Connors lost her aunt and her little cousin today, and we were offering up prayers. And I'm so glad that Stephanie feels comfortable coming into this room and telling us and letting us know so we can do that. Excuse me. Welcome, Sandra Shelley. Well, thank you for feeling that we're part of your family. Okay. All right. So I basically went through, even though Facebook was giving the broadcast a hard time, and I finished up the little pieces on the bottom. Zoom in, zoom in. So we've got some cookies. I don't know why that looks like a blood drop on there. I have no idea. Only the author knows. I'm telling you, I'm going to send an email to the author and say, hey, we are family. Da, 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 da. Okay, zoom out. Oh, Sandra, thank you for your comments. Zoom out. Zoom out. I had so much fun putting together this picture again. So now I'm going to play a little bit more with it. We're going to get a little goopy. And by the way, I got to warn you guys, I'm operating on 4 hours of sleep. I pulled an all-nighter to get our affiliate list done. I went through and I put all the coloring books that I have on it, and I put additional coloring books on that you guys wanted. And don't forget that if you have anything that you need to purchase, it would help the group if you let us know. Oh, I'm not just wonky, I'm like super wonky. I know. It makes me giggle every time I see it too. There's just, remember our little picture we did with the mouse that was being pulled up by the balloon? Yeah, Maddie, you know, maybe this would be a good time for you just to spend the time with coloring, and then that leaves you your other time to do other things. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. On 4 hours of sleep. Oh. Okay, so I'm going to bend this back just a little bit. So your husband laughed at this, Pearl? Yeah, I can just imagine all the husbands that are looking at these and saying, just exactly what are you guys doing in that group? Having way too much fun. Vicky appreciates you saying hello. Okay, let's see how big of a mess I can do and make. So here's the plan. So I've got this sand here, and I'm going to, this is the stuff I got in these little containers, and at some point in time, if and when I reorder sand, I'm going to get it from Oriental Trading because it you get bigger amounts for less money. Oops. So we'll see how amusing I am to you tonight in doing this. This is a woman on the edge. That's me. No sleep. So one of the things that I always like to do is to introduce you to stuff that's unique. I mean, obviously I'm always introducing you to stuff, but this is like unique stuff. Oh, neat. Okay, Rhonda. Yeah. When I showed you that book. So let's see how well we can do this. This is really going to be interesting. You know, you guys, you need to watch this just for the amusement value. You're welcome, Lila. You did a really good job on that cat cafe. Okay. So, where was I going with this? Somewhere my little train got derailed. Yes, you are improving. And when I see my peeps improving, that warms the cockles of my heart. Somebody's going to have to look up what cockles of a heart means. You've heard that saying before. Okay, so hopefully I can keep a majority of this sand on my little paper here. Well, like I said, being tired and working with something like sand, I mean, it would be enough of a challenge anyway. So we'll see if I can pull this off without too much disaster. Ooh, there we go. Okay, so what I'm doing, yeah, a British, yeah, cockles, British saying. Okay, so I'm using my Elmer's washable clear glue. I've showed you this stuff before. There you go. Lila explained it. So I just hope you guys appreciate the amusement factor in me doing this at this time. But like I said, the good news is, yeah, anything is a challenge tonight. Yeah. And this would be a night that we have a guest artist come in, you know, just somebody. Yeah, please don't do that. I need to recoup. Okay, so I'm just tapping this little bottle here, and it's coming out in little poofs. Let's see here. Now see, where else do you guys get to come in and not only learn and enjoy about coloring, but we learn about other stuff. Hey, Helen. Okay, now I have different colors of sand that I can play with. Let me pull out one more color here. And when I empty these containers, so here's a nice light color as well. And I'm going to mix some of that in here. Oh yeah, that looks cool. So I'll save these bottles, and then I'm going to go to Oriental Trading Company, if and when I order more sand. And use these as refill bottles. Can I try ripples? Oh, God. Why? Okay, we'll see what I can do. Somebody tell Helen what's going on with me tonight. Okay. All right, that needs to live there. Oh. Doo-doo. ILene is working on 4 hours of sleep. Okay. So I don't know how elaborate that I can get with designs. We'll see. No promises. I'm on wonky overload. Oh. Hey, Melissa. Okay. Zoom in. Now, be sure you get your edges. See how I've got some blank spots on the edge? You want to get right out to your edges. Because otherwise it's going to look funny. There we go. Yeah, I do an upload of the video every night. When I go off air, then my work really begins. So I always upload the video for the day. And then after I did that and stuffing my face with some Fig Newton cookies, I decided to go ahead and work on my affiliate list. To really want to get that done. And one thing led to another, and I just ended up doing the entire thing. So we got a mess here. Let's see here. Whoop. No, the seagulls. No, 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 no. Okay. Actually, that's looking pretty cool. So I'm using the two sand colors to get a little, you know, different colors in here. Now, when you put this stuff on, and especially when you're going, I've got to get semi-serious here tonight, zoom in. Is make sure that you get all the way over to your edges. Now, the neat thing that's happening is as I'm doing this, it's actually creating a nice little paste. And once you create that paste, you can go ahead and get your sand in and then mix it. Okay. Yeah, Helen, I'm not prepared right now to put any sand swirls or anything in here right now. But I have a couple of other things in mind. Do, do, do. Okay. So again, be sure that you hit your edges. And I really like this mix of colors. That'll be pretty cool. Okay. Okay, something just happened with my screen. I got some sort of magnifier on here that I now cannot remove. I don't know how to do that. Let's see here. There we go. Okay, does everybody see how I'm getting this nice sandy look here by using especially these different colors? And again, once my glue and my sand start mixing, that gives me that paste. All right. So let me get this. It's not that I didn't sleep well, Helen. It's that I stayed up all night to finish the affiliate list. See, what I have to do is every time I go to list something, I need to go to the Amazon site and sign into my account and then pull the what's called the affiliate link, which is what you guys click on. So I have to go to my list, get the name of the book, go to the affiliate list, get the affiliate number, and then go back to my list and put that and paste it in the document. It's a Word document. So this is coming out really well. Da, da, da. And I'll play with the proportions of the sand in a minute. You know, it looks a little spotty. Right. And then when you guys click on that affiliate link to order, we get pennies. But hey, pennies add up. It's colored sand. I bought it. Now, what I encourage you guys to do also, if you really want to help the group too, is if you're going to make a big purchase from Amazon, it doesn't have to be just art supplies, guys. If you're ordering like a set of dishes from Amazon and you give me that and you tell me what you are ordering, I can go ahead and text you the affiliate link. So basically, anything that you order from Amazon, if you're going to order Q-tips or, you know, just anything. Okay, I'm getting on a roll here. Would you try sand from? No, I would not try sand from the beach. And food dye, too much trouble, first of all, and also you don't know what little microorganisms are in there. I mean, if you want to do it, have fun, but it would just be too much hassle, not to mention I don't live near a beach. Okay, now this is going to look a little wonky, so but bear with me. We've talked about that before. Oh, you've got to get a rolling bedside table. Oh, that'd be wonderful. And you know, Rhonda, like I said, just text me. And what really helps, guys, if you're going to get something from Amazon, like what Rhonda's talking about, you go to that little square. You know how there's a little square box in the upper right-hand corner of the item that's got the square and then it got the little arrow in it, the up arrow, click on it, and you can get the link. And if you send me that link, I can look up that piece of whatever you're getting and text you back the affiliate link, and we get credit for that sale. And guys, I really want to say how much I appreciate you supporting this group. Several of you have sent me coffee donations, There is so much stuff. Yeah, I'll reuse that sand. I'm going to dump it on here. So I appreciate you guys doing that. Every little bit helps. And as you know by now, I mean, I put a lot of money into buying stuff for the group, which is fine. I love doing it. Not a complaint at all. So it helps me when you guys can help me with that. Oh, this is just so cool. I mean, Helen, she was extremely magnanimous. She contributed a gift certificate to us through her British site. Took me a year and a day to get the stuff, but we still got it. And then Maddie, when she won the prize, which was what we were going to use Helen's gift for, turned her prize money over to the group. And then I added to it. So the three of us actually ended up putting our money together. And then that's where I got a bunch of that stuff. Oh my gosh, get out of there. It's glue. Get. Little buglet. La-da-dum. Okay. So what I want to do is just get this base color down. Or the base sand down. I'm trying to think if I have something plastic that I can use. I can't really use a Q-tip or a makeup applicator because stuff would stick to it. Okay. And once I get this base layer down, then I'll go back with it and tap in some of my colors. Some more of these. I just want to get this bottom layer in. Well, Helen, like I said, you need to come in as a featured artist, and I'll go ahead and feature your book. Oh, you've got the 23 stencil set? Yay. That's good, Katie. Oh, so anyway, what I was saying about Amazon, if you guys are ordering something for your house, you just click on that little box on Amazon and it's in the upper right hand corner and it says copy link and send it to me. And I can get that link to you, the affiliate link to you to purchase that item. And that would be wonderful. Welcome to everybody that's in our balcony and watching. Okay, so I'm making a little bit of a goop with this sand, which is allowing me to manipulate it. And like I said, I just wanted to get down a base layer here that I can then go back and move some of it around. Now, it looks a little rough, but that's because we just need to fill in the gaps here. Okay. Okay. And if you guys talk to me and I miss it, just repeat. I can't scroll back easily to look at stuff because my hands are full. Okay. Let me try to gather up the sand right here. Oh, look, I made a face. Oh, can you guys tell how tired I am? Whee! Got 2 eyes and a mouth. Oh. Okay, and now that I have this base here, now I can go through and push the sand around a little bit with my finger. I didn't want to do that earlier because it was so goopy wet. Who is a hoot? Oh yeah, I will get some sleep tonight. ILene is getting tired, punch drunk. Honey, I'm already there. No, I'm not too bad, but you know. Okay. I'm just so glad to get that list done, I'll tell you. Now, I want to show you something here too. La, da, da. It's a huge list. Yeah, it just works out for me that I'm up at night. It really does. Okay, now I want to show you something. You guys know that I am very, very pro coloring book artist, right? And by the way, Jillian and I are talking about getting our next artist in here. We're aiming for April, what's today, the 11th? I gotta look on my calendar. Okay, now I want to show you something here. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. So each and every one of these books has the artist's name somewhere on the piece. And so I'm going to go ahead and scrape away the sand from the name. And that way we support this artist. Zoom, oh, there we go. So her name is Greta Alice, Greta Alice. And that way we've got her name very much highlighted on this. So that's good. So if you have this book and you're doing a project like this, and you're doing something to your page to cover stuff up, please honor the artist. Okay. And let the name show through. I don't know if you guys have picked up this book, The Doodlers Anonymous. I love it. There we go. Get some glue on there. Zoom out. Now your page is going to start to curl a little bit. So what? That's from the glue. You can always straighten it out. There we go. Excuse my arm. Rhonda, what little things is that? Oh, you mean like showing the artist name and stuff? Oh, yeah. Okay. Now, to those of you watching in the gallery, what I'm doing may not float your boat, but that's not the point. Point is, I'm teaching you to be innovative with your coloring pages. And in this case, it just screamed at me to go ahead and put the sand on this to make it look really cool. And as Helen mentioned, yeah, it's to think outside of the box. I mean, we can all color pages, right? But let's take it a step further. And I'm not talking about doing stupid stuff, you know, for the sake, you know, just weird, ridiculous stuff. Wait until you see what I do with the that book I showed you, The Girl in the Forest. Right. It's to enhance, not to get stupid with it just for the sake of adding stuff. You know, you don't want to be doing one of those things that turns out, you know, seemed like a good idea at the time. Now, on this particular piece here, this may be giving you some ideas for some other things that you've colored. Pull out stuff that you've finished, guys, and think about adding stuff like this. Okay, let me finish up this last little bit with my main glue. Glue. And do not use Gorilla Glue. Yeah, the girl in the forest, that was the one that I showed the other night. I've got some really neat projects coming up for you. When I buy a coloring book or put a coloring book on my wish list, I buy it based on how I think I can, of course, not only color it, but how I can teach out of it and how I could enhance it. Now, that enhancement could be drawing additional lines on it. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's see where we can grab this. Hold on, had a minor spill, so I'm going to brush it onto the page. Oh, hey Domino. And I'll tell you what, this is where I really am glad that I have a duster brush, a GoFundMe account to get the books that you share with us. Although, no, I don't know. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, zoom out. So now I'm going to go ahead and any of these little areas that I missed, we'll go ahead and get our sand on there. And what I'm going to do now is I'm not going to try and cover up all these little spots right now. I'm going to let this dry. And then I'll go back and I'll fix any areas that need this sand. But I wanted you to see this idea. I'm just going to get the really big gaping areas here. Looks like I'm going to have to get some more Elmers too. And by the way, guys, we are so close to 1,200 members right now. And I'll tell you why that's an achievement is because our numbers are growing so fast, so quickly. That was redundant. Are growing so quickly in a short amount of time. And we're getting a lot of people coming in here. Oop, wrong thing. Glue, glue, glue. And people are starting to find out how different we are from all the other coloring groups. And I encourage you when you post, guys, talk up your piece, explain how you did it a little bit. I mean, you don't have to write a book. Remember, you're posting to help somebody else. And that help either comes in the form of them seeing how you did something, or if you had a particular problem with something, how you overcame it. Oh, okay. But wait, there's more. Now, let's see if I can get this hand back in this bottle. Oh my gosh, guys, really? Okay, well, ain't gonna happen right now. All right. So I will smooth out all these rough spots and fill these in, but I gotta let this dry and then I can go ahead and finish up with this. Now, one of the other things I'm gonna do, let me grab some water here, is let's go ahead and put some sand on Our Lady directly. So I'll go ahead and do a little bit on the one knee, and then over here I'm just going to go down the calf, zoom out, and then I'm going to go ahead. I've got this sand here that I used and went on my white paper. And I'll just go ahead and doobie her up a little bit. Now, don't get anal about it. Just, you know, put a little sand on her. And I'm going to take some of the sand now that has glue and pop it over to some other areas. There we go. And when you do this, you want to put it on areas that are going to logically make sense where that sand would be. Oops. And even after it dries, if you want to pull it off, you can. So I've got the elbow, a little bit on the shoulder here. I'm just going to smear a little bit on her side. I don't want to put too much on here because we don't want to take away from the charm of the picture. There we go. Okay. Lila wants a little bit on her foot. Yeah, we can do that. And it doesn't matter how you apply it. If you want to shake it on from the container, put a little bit in your hands, and then do it through your fingers, that's fine too. And then just pull off what you don't want. Okay. Now again, it looks rough because we've got these little white patches in the sand. But once that dries, I'll go ahead and even all that out. Now, let me see if I can get the sand back in here without it being a major production. That is a look at that. Look how small that opening is. It is not very big, and I do not have a funnel. So we'll see how this works. Ooh, cool. Got most of it. Oh, those are footprints in the sand. Oh, there you go. But wait, there's more. So again, I'm going to let that dry. Gunk. Let me see if I can get some of this sand off my coloring page. All right. Now I'm going to show you a little extra thing I want to add on here. I'm going to get most of this up, more or less. Yeah. Not bad. Okay. So now I'm going to look at one more little enhancement that I want to do with her and the sand. Is a while back I bought these little stones. And if my Ziploc bag ever breaks, I am so screwed, I'll tell you. Now, I've got two sizes here. This is like the greenish, limestone-ish kind, and this is the more stuff that you would find at the sand. Yeah, I will double bag it. So I'm going to pull out a handful of these little stones. And then I'm going to add just a little bit. Maybe in some of these pockets here. Zoom in. So I've got a pocket of white here, so I'm going to take advantage of that. And I'm going to put down that one's a little big, actually. Don't want that one that big. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'll pull that out. Hey, Joyce. Is I'm going to put a few here. I mean, just you don't get stupid with it. When you color and you do stuff like this, you want to add, excuse my arm, little surprises that you find on your page. And I've spread out these little stones on a piece of paper, and I want to pull like the tiniest here. Don't go, that's what I'm saying. It's just don't go weird with it. And when you group these, zoom in, zoom in. Good night, Rhonda. And thank you again so much for that color wheel. What a neat surprise. Good night, Rhonda. Good night, Rhonda. Good night, Rhonda. So glad to have you here. Zoom out. Zoom out. Okay, so here's one here. It's a bigger stone of my small ones here. So I'm just going to put that one right here by itself. Good night, Katie. Hi, sweetie. Yeah, it's not food. Yeah, you don't normally beg for food. So what I want you to see is I'm just scattering just a few. Nothing, nothing, you know, spectacular here. Zoom in. So like right here, I'm just going to put in one little, one or two little pieces here. Zoom out. And that is definitely enough. So I've got a few here. I've got a few here. Not going to put any here or down here. And if you want to be really cheeky about it, no pun intended, zoom in. That actually was domino. Zoom in. Zoom in. I'm just going to put a stone or two on the blanket. I mean, just discreet here. And if you really want to have some fun with it, I'm going to get 3 little teeny tiny stones, and I'm going to put them in her shoe. Now that's having fun, right? Have fun, guys. Okay, now that's enough, right? We don't want to do any more. And if you have something like this, and it turns into one of those seemed like a good idea at the time, you can just pick them off later. Okay. And again, this is the type of thing, zoom out. Zoom out. This is the type of thing that you want to sneak up on you. So now the last thing I'm going to do on my stones is I'm going to go ahead and just put a layer of glue on top of them, because these are the most susceptible now to popping off. And this is one of the reasons why I really love this clear glue, because it really is clear glue. Anybody have any questions or comments? I think I got everybody double glued here. I've got a glue bubble on top there. That's funny. There we go. Get rid of that little guy. And then if you have a ridiculous amount of glue on there, just go ahead and take your toothpick and pull it off. There we go. Now, when this dries, I'm going to patch up some of these bald areas here on the sand, and I'll use the lighter sand. Because right now it looks a little rough. But once we get those little areas patched up, we'll be in good shape. So there you go. There's an idea for you. Your other alternative is you can go ahead and let's see here. Share with me someone. I'm sorry, Pearl. What do you mean by that? Share what? Okay, and like I said, not for everybody. But again, this isn't finished. It's patchy. It'll be finished when I get all this, little patchy stuff done. And then you can see if I like it then. And one more little quick thing. If you have something like this that you've done, then what you do is you take a brown pencil. Good night, Maddie. And you can go ahead and darken in some of these areas. And that's going to give you another dimension yet. Actually, let me play around with that a little bit. So what you want to do is take your pencil, zoom in, and take care of some of the hatches here. Oh, good night, Rebecca. So no, this is not finished at all. Now, the other technique that I want to show you here is I'm coloring literally on top of this sand. So not only am I doing the patches, but I'm also coloring on the sand itself. And that's another way here too to work this piece. Let's see something here. I bet you didn't know that you could still color on a page when there's sand on it like this, did you? Well, you guys are dropping like flies. So now you know that you can take, this is the technique I wanted to show you. I just decided I'll do it now instead of tomorrow. Is I literally am coloring with the sand here. So that allows you to create another dimension with whatever color sand you're using. Bet you didn't know you could do that. But wait, there's more. Now, I'm not going to do this on this entire piece on camera. But I wanted to show you the effect. Does everybody understand that I'm literally coloring through this sand? Zoom out. And then any patches that are still here, after this dries some more, I'll go ahead and maybe pop on some more sand. So we still have a little bit of that patchiness, and you either correct that with more sand or with your pencil. And of course, coloring through this sand really does a number on your pencil. All right, so I'm just going to do a couple more spots. Okay, Stephanie, you take care, sweetie. I'm sure that you're physically and mentally exhausted at this point. Zoom out. Now, what I want you to notice on this piece, rest up, Stephanie, is that as I'm coloring this outer edge darker, that is starting to enhance my lady in the sand. Everybody see that? So yeah, there's a method to my madness here. And the other thing that it allows you to do is I'm using this very, very dark color around the outside of the blanket towel. It's really important that you see that you can do this with your pencil, guys. Everybody see that? Show me a video where somebody showed you doing something like this. But wait, there's more. Okay. And again, guys, this is not done. I'm going to be evening out this background. But what I want you to see with the sand color, this image is coming out more and more, right? Let me play with it a little on this side so that you can see what I'm talking about, and then I'm going to move on. Zoom in. Now, the trick to doing this, you obviously can't, so you develop the technique of coming out lighter and lighter from your. This is so funny how this is chewing up this pencil. Anybody have any questions or comments about coloring on sand? Bet you didn't expect that. It is. It's like coloring on sandpaper. Exactly. And if you have some white areas that you don't want to fill in with your pencil like that, it won't matter. Of going back and putting your sand on there. Like I said, this needs some touch as the stuff dries. Okay, questions, comments? Zoom out. Zoom out. But what I really want you to see is how this blanket and this image is coming up now and popping out the sand on here. So I'll be working on that edge off camera. Okay, Sandra, we'll see ya. Melba, you still with us? So there you go. Something different. So I've got a little bit of sand. I've got a little bit of my teeny tiny stones and rocks, pebbles, stones. Hey, Melba, do you have your router and modem squared away so we can go ahead and get you back on camera? Yeah. Okay, guys. So, and like I said, I'm going to finish this patchiness, so by the time I'm done, we'll have a cohesive drawing. And you can shade around the outside. And the more I shade and the darker I make the sand, the more the center pops. Okay. So I will set it dry. Down, down, down. And then I'll pull up another image here that I started to think that you enjoy. Actually, well, it's Friday, Lila. And I think that's part of what affects the broadcast. It goes in and out. Okay, let me get that set off to the side. Or Sunday. I mean, yeah, what do I think? All right. Okay. So I've got Animals of the World going here by DK Publishing. This is another project I've been working on. Yeah, I lose my days. And one quick thing I wanted to show you. Zoom out. So I was playing around with it whenever I showed it to you. I started playing the shape. Good night, Sandra. Okay. There we go. Having fun with this image. I just decided that I wanted to start to play with it because it's just to do something a little bit different. And then what I'm going to do is I'll highlight the bird. Now when you do something like this, this is where it may help you. And this is the eyeshadow that I used on the face because we can get the different tones on that. Zoom in. And you can see how that's starting to look. So as I'm playing with this, it really gives me the opportunity to put in the different colors with the birds and to decide how I'm going to do the birds and then leave something like this on the gray. Well, sorry to lose you, Lila. You might want to try and ride it out because a lot of times that'll change. We'll go through spurts of this. Zoom out. So I hope that this gives you some ideas as well. I love actually now how this bird is just flying across here. That'll get some really, really neat contrast in here. All right. Melba, are you having any problems with sound or stalling? So I just wanted to show you that to give you some ideas with these. And essentially what I want to show you is the gray here. So gray on feather is a really nice way to go, especially if you want to highlight something like the birds. So that'll give us contrast to that piece as well. Okay. The Fantasia. Oh, I'm glad you're hanging in, Melba. Okay. Yeah, I found, Melba, sometimes you just got to ride it out. Okie dokie. So you guys are familiar with this piece, and I've been working with my metallics here on the chameleon. Added a little bit of blue. I've used chalks on this. I've used metallics on it. And then, of course, standard pencil. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and that really frustrates me, Melba, when that stalls. I can't do anything about it. So what I'm doing now is I'm using my lighter greens here on the outside. And again, guys, notice that I'm holding my pencil either anywhere starting halfway up towards the back. Couple things you need to keep in mind when you're coloring something like this. Is number one, if you lay down a color and you feel it's too bright, but when you stay up all night, I didn't go to sleep until 7. Same for me, Melba. You and I, you and I must be on the same schedule. I pulled that all-nighter to get that affiliate list done. I'm operating on 765, about 4 hours of sleep. So when I'm coloring this, guys, I'm looking for two things. Number one, I'm looking for relatively similar leaves. And number 2, I'm also looking now to make sure that this is going to be balanced out. So when you put, for example, a bold green in one area, you go ahead and balance that out in another. Okay? And again, if you're having a hard time how to define your finished portrait and you feel so tired you feel drunk. Yeah. They did a study on some guy. I can't remember the length of time, but he stayed awake for like a really inordinate amount of time. And they were studying the effects on him. And you just lose your ability to be coherent. Zoom out. And that reminds me, Lila, when you're doing something like that gorgeous portrait, please put the details on it. Somebody may want to contact you to do portrait work. And then on top of that, Melba, when you were talking about before I came on air, so I quick grabbed some French bread and butter and stuffed that into my face. Zoom in. All right, let me see something here. Yeah, I'll go ahead and finish that green. So what I want you to notice, guys, is to get definition for the chameleon. I'm coloring the leaves that are directly around him. Yeah, I got the information. I saw that you added it. You saw my comment about adding it. And remember, we're getting a lot of new people coming in. You know, people may not know or have seen your previous posts. Okay, what's this? Okay. And I think I just made a coloring mistake. Let me fix that. Zoom in. Colored part of the chameleon. There we go. No biggie. So he's going to be tinted a little bit green, but we'll fix that. There we go. Zoom out. So right now what I'm doing is I'm going ahead and coloring up these leaves. Like I said, that are close to the chameleon. Oops, my point fell out. And again, what do I always tell you guys? Tint your work in, and then you can go back and do your shading and your actual finishing of it, your coloring. Zoom in. For those of you that are new that are watching, I never do one and done coloring. So what that means is I'll work on an area and I'll put in, like in this case, my base colors. And then go back and finish up and do my tweaking. Right now this is not blended at all. So I'll either blend it now, which I decided I will do, or when I come back with my secondary color, I'm using that as a blender as well. And the neat thing about doing that, guy, you got Soar Color gel pens today, swatching, not impressed, reserving opinion. Until you swatch them on white. Okay. Yeah, I've got Tanmit gel pens. It's a good brand. Okay, now in adding something like this color here, it's a bluish green color, is now we can go ahead and come back with another color. Specifically, I'm going to use this green and go ahead and start tinting that piece and shadowing it. Oh, Julie, sorry to hear that. Send them back. That is so frustrating, especially when they're art materials. And you get so excited about using them and swatching them, and something like that happens. Contact the company and tell them. Now, one of the things that I'm considering doing with this piece, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, put on the background, specifically in between. I just got a whole bunch of markers here. Okay, we'll get there. So I'm getting out my Caliarts, which are my alcohol markers. So Julie, are you planning on, who sent you the replacement? Was that Amazon? I was getting them for an artist in Denmark. After the third ones, I just added alcohol to revive. Okay. She got a gift certificate and got other stuff. Gotcha. Zoom in. Now, of course, with these alcohol markers, we're going to have it coming through the back. Everybody see how this black is really starting to look pretty cool? Zoom in. Zoom in. After the third set, they gave you a gift certificate. Yeah. So now I'm going through here with my alcohol marker, and I decided that I wanted to go bold, and I'm making this back. And I want you to see now how cool this is going to look when we see the contrast here. And guys, if you go over your lines with your black alcohol marker, then fix, just alter your image. Nobody's going to know. My whole mantra to you guys is think on your feet. Oh man, this is going to look so cool, guys. I'll pull out in a second so you can see what's coming up here. And I would encourage you, if you have alcohol markers, is consider doing a black background on something like this. It looks absolutely fantastic. Melba, you know what the worst part of being overtired is your vision gets blurry. So Julie, when you had that problem with all those markers, did you contact the company themselves and tell them what was happening? And the reason that I'm asking that is sometimes our product may sit in storage. You know that boat that was, yeah, you can color when you're overtired. You can color or can't. The that boat that was stuck in the canal, in the Suez Canal. Who knows how many of that stuff was art supplies? And stuff happens in shipment, especially since a lot of this stuff comes from China. Zoom in. Zoom in. So if you tell the company what happened, that helps them because they'll ask you what the lot number is on the product, and they can figure all that out. I hope you guys can see how neat this is starting to look here with this. Oop, lost the tip of my leaf. Oh well. Too bad. Zoom out. Oh, you've got dry eye. Oh. Oh man, guys, this black is looking absolutely phenomenal. And all I'm doing now is just a simple outline, and then I pull the alcohol marker in. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Julie. Okay, now this is kind of wonky right here. I don't know what this line is. All right, let's see if we can figure this out. Now, one thing that I would suggest that you do too is just go ahead and outline your areas so you can kind of figure out what's going on where. And that'll help give you some perspective on your whole piece, especially when you're working with black. That gets really important. Oh man, this is going to look so cool. Zoom out. Oh, that works out then. Thank you for telling me that, Julie. That's great. Okay. And you know, Julie, one of the things that I've found too is if you are super nice about the issue. Okay, now I'm trying to figure out here if this is leaf or background. See what we're getting into wonky areas here. That's why I'm doing this. If you're super nice about the issue, the service representatives will be really nice to you most times. And honestly, that's really sad to say that because they're so used to people calling up and screaming at them, why do you sell me stuff like that? You know, it's not like Amazon said, hey, let's go ahead and sell defective product. But they keep track of complaints. So if you're nice about it, you know, and that rep, they're not the ones that caused the problem, but they're the ones that can help you with it. And if you tick off that rep, they're not going to go that extra mile for you. You know, they're given authority to do certain things. Okay. Zoom out, zoom out. Okay, let's see what we can figure out here. Can you guys see how cool this is starting to look? All right, I think this is black right here. It is now. And again, guys, feel free to alter this. Yeah, and like people behind the counter, when you yell at them about the order being wrong, they're not the ones that necessarily assembled it in the back. So to yell at them about that is just way out of bounds. I mean, I realize that we're living in tough times right now, and people are super stressed. I mean, mentally, a lot of people are having problems with what's going on, depression, yada, yada, yada. All the more reason that you should be nice to people. I always tell people when we get on the subject, my FedEx story, FedEx. Years and years and years ago, a package got less. Thank you, Julie. I'm glad you like the background. Had an important package that got less, lost. Zoom in, zoom in. And that's when FedEx was, their commercial when it said what absolutely positively has to be there, da 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 da. And so the package didn't arrive and basically was MIA. And so I called the Federal Express lady, got Federal Express, got a lady, explained to her what happened. And she said, "You're awfully calm about this, because, yeah, I called her up and said, hey, this is what happened, da 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 da." And I said, "Ma'am," I said, "are you kidding?" I said, "You are the last person on this earth at this moment that I want to tick off." I said, "You have the power to find my package and route it back to where it needs to be." I said, "I don't need you getting upset at me because I'm yelling at you and have you send my package to Timbuktu, Africa, which would be in your control to do so." And she laughed. She thought that was funny, but it was true. Oh man, this is really being difficult right in this area here. Mm. The only time that I ever lost my cool, and that was with a cable company, Charter Communication at the time. And they like royally screwed up on the issue. Oops. And I called up, and the first thing out of my mind, out of my mouth to the rep, because you could, I said, ma'am, I am so angry right now, I could spit nails. And I said, please understand, as I'm talking to you, it's not directed at you. I said, but I am really pissed off. And, I was explaining what was happening. It was really stupid. I mean, it was just beyond idiotic the way that that company, again, I can't remember, Charter, Comcast, whatever, Comcast, I guess. And I absolutely could not remove the anger out of my voice. And I said, just understand, it's not directed at you. I said, right now, I'm depending on you to help me. And see, that's another thing that I'll say to a rep when I call them up is I'll say that. I'll say, I'm depending on you to help me, which is the truth. Zoom in. Hi, Wanda. Zoom out. Zoom out. And why people feel that they need to be nasty to get what they want is absolutely beyond me. So people at Amazon are given, certain, like I said, certain authority to do things. And if you're not nasty to them, they'll help you. And not only that, they're so used to having people be nasty to them that when they run into somebody that's nice, it's a relief for them. And I'll even take it a step further beyond that. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. I'll even take it a step beyond that, is I will make it a point to try and make that customer service rep laugh. Okay, let's see what I'm doing here. So I don't know if all that makes sense, but there's a little tip for you. If you call up customer service and you're nasty, you're shooting yourself in the foot. I did. Of course I sprayed it. Sometimes after the fact, but hey, meaning after I've started coloring it. Oh man, isn't that pretty? But again, it's just figuring out what is what with this black. But I hope you see how cool this is starting to look. Zoom out. See how this is coming together, guys? And these other areas that I'm putting this black in, if I can't make sense out of it, I'll just blacken out the whole thing. Zoom in. Move this a little bit here. I'll bet you that Wanda has stories about customer service in the restaurant and how business and how jerky people can be. Okay. Zoom out. Oh, well, that's good, Wanda. Yeah, I know everybody bailed tonight. I don't know what the problem is, but hey. Okay, so I'm going to guess that this is black here. Honestly, Wanda, I think that businesses have been way over backwards to people, to customers. And so businesses enable customers to be jerks. And to be entitled. And that's what people have learned. Okay. So right now I'm just coloring the obvious black areas here. I've already had one person in this group lecture me because when I asked them and offered them help with their picture because it came in dark, and she jumped all over me about that. And I thought, you know, lady, I don't need this. Okay. Zoom out. Now, it may seem tedious to go through here and do this blackening of your background, but it's well worth it. And the reason I'm doing this on camera is I want you to see how it's going to pop your picture. Because remember earlier, I went ahead and put the black eye in the center, and now adding this black background is really going to make it look cool. So Julie has too much sleep. And yeah, me and Melba are running on too little sleep. Zoom in. Honestly, I think businesses should tell their employees that if they're being hassled by a customer, to come and get a manager and to assess the situation. And if that customer is being a jerk and giving the server, for example, a hard time, then that business owner needs to politely tell them to leave. To help avoid that white soaking in is when you do something in black and you're going to put white on top of it, spray it with Krylon fixative, and that will help create a surface for you. And a barrier between the black and the white. Oh, the managers at McDonald's told you that? Yeah. I'll tell you what though, given this day and age with, you know, what's going on, I would never in a million years work at a McDonald's or any fast food, not just a McDonald's. Zoom out. Yeah, Julie, try that with a Krylon. And you may need to put 1 or 2 coats on to get that so that it protects it. But you just got to experiment with what it's going to take. And when you put your Krylon on, Julie, you've got to let it fully dry. Sometimes when I go on camera, Wanda laughs at me for this. I forget to do my Krylon spray, and so I spray it, and then I start working on it right away. You're really not supposed to do that. Now, keep in mind, instead of using this black, especially because I have the alcohol markers now, I could have done this with another color, but I'm using the black to get the contrast on this. Good grief, this is so hard to tell which is what now. Now, when you run into a situation like this, zoom in. It literally is going to come down to the point that you need to guess. And so you take your best shot and then you work with what you did. I see so many people that will color in the background and guess, and they go, oh, I screwed up, I screwed up. Well, no. If you get to the point in your coloring that you basically can handle any mishap, and have it come out that anybody looking at your piece has no idea that you screwed it up. So white, black, white, okay, black, white, oh man. But you get so many people that will have an issue and then complain about it, and then that's it. Zoom out. Yeah, sometimes it is hard to make out, and I'm running into that right now with this puppy. Ugh. Like I said, if it gets too wonky, I'll just start coloring in broader areas of black. Zoom out. Look how neat now this looks. What do you think so far? This piece is going to be really neat spunning piece. Yeah, and that's another thing to do, Julie. When it gets like that for you, move to something else on the page or another picture. Don't get hung up in what's going on with it. And you guys know that I'm after you about that all the time. Now, one of the things that I like to do, zoom in, zoom in. If you see some areas that you think are going to be black, go ahead and just put a little marker on it like this. And then go back to it and color it in black. Or whatever color you're working with. Don't be afraid to make a commitment on this, guys. So if this little tip helps you, good. Make that black too. Zoom out. See, so all these areas I feel are going to be black, and that helps me. I don't know if you've ever thought about doing something like that, but there's a tip for you. Zoom out. Let me straighten this up for you here. Boy, my camera got turned, didn't it? There we go. Okay, Melba, I'm going to stop for you as well. So everybody see how I did that and how this is really making a difference now on the image? And like I said, if you, it doesn't matter. If you color something and you realize you made a little oopsie with it, so what? But look how beautifully now this piece is starting to look. And I decided that since I was working on the chameleon here, I wanted to go ahead and start setting my background and playing with that. And one of these days, I'm going to task you guys, when somebody gives us an image to share, I want you to start on the background. Maribel talked about that, if she likes to do that. Because here's the deal, if you don't try different stuff, you're going to get into a rut. I've changed some of the ways that I've colored just to try something differently. Experiment, experiment, experiment. Oh, Wanda, you've been starting with your background on your last few. Okay, so tell us about that. How's that going for you? Oh my gosh, guys, look how cool that looks. And the other thing when you're coloring is, like this chameleon, you can do a general coloring the way a chameleon looks, but if you don't get it exactly, no worries. Whoop-de-doo. So what do you think about that, Wanda, is starting at the background first? Mostly pastel backgrounds, but I really like getting the background defined first. Okay. So one of the images that I'm starting to play with right now, and I started this actually while I was doing some of my uploads, out of this Fantasia book, is I'm working on this little girl here. And I was showing you this on camera, and I demonstrated a little bit with putting the gray on the wings. Now, I got to tell you something about this book that I found out, is that when you erase, the lines go with it. So you've got to be really careful. Yeah, and you're right, Julie. What exactly is a chameleon? If you mess up a color, then who knows? Chameleon changes colors all the time. That's right. So I may even play around with this and set the background and then finish the rest of it. I don't know yet. We'll see. But I would challenge you on your next image that you color is do it differently than the way that you normally do. And once you do that and you work on being flexible, then you're not going to have any heebie-jeebies about coloring stuff. Hi, ILene. Ages since I've seen you. And something like this also, I'm challenging myself by not adding color on these feathers. I'm just going to leave them the gray. So lots of fun stuff going on here. And if you have something like Ohuhu markers, excuse me, Caliarts, which are the alcohol base for something like this, oh my gosh, you could really go bold with it. if I weren't so tired, I would pick up a marker and commit to doing the background on this first. So I did the one bird. Can I zoom in on the feathers? Yeah. Zoom in. Zoom in. So I'm working out a blending process. This needs to be blended more here, obviously. Zoom out. So it's just a simple gray shading. ILene, yeah, and I didn't see you. I'm sorry. Let me show you that piece again real quick. Zoom out. So what I'm doing with this is I did our fat lady on the towel, and then I literally put sand and a few little pebble rocks around the outside. And then what I did, which I think a lot of people aren't used to, is I went through and I used a colored pencil on top of the sand in order to add that shading around this middle. And I'm still in the process of doing that. And once I do that, because right now it looks squirrely because there's just so much going on with that sand pattern, I want to smooth that out. And then I'll shade it, and that'll make the inside of this pop. Zoom in. And what I did also is I attached, I don't know how much you can see them on this background yet. I attached, there we go, I attached a few pebbles that I bought on Amazon to the page. Put a couple here. And just randomly put some on the bottom right here. And then a couple over here. One here. Oh, there we go with the sand again. Zoom out. So this piece is really, guys, a balancing act, and it's a great one to learn from and for me to teach on. Now I get it that you may not like that sand background. That's fine. But again, this isn't finished. This sand is the rough form of what the final piece is going to be. I would never leave a piece looking like that. And I think that this just gives a really nice, realistic, just playfulness to it. And the alternative was I could have used a darker brown. I wouldn't have wanted to use a lighter brown because of the skin. So that's why I like darker brown on this. Who knows? I may even go over it with a little bit of white Prismacolor pencil. But I wanted to show you guys this, and I specifically wanted to show you that you could still color. I mean, I literally was using color pencil on the sand in this particular video. And then the other thing that I did, just as an aside, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, is the author's name is on the piece on each of these. And I showed you how I left that open so that, you know, gives credit to the author. Zoom out, zoom out, So yeah, a lot of fun with this. Zoom out. And the thing you got to be careful with is there's, again, a lot going on with this. And so we need to be careful not to have one thing distract from the other. Each thing needs to shine, but not take away from other pieces and components of the drawing and the image. So I think we had a lot of fun with this. All right, guys, I think I'm going to call it an evening. So she's going to be drying. And again, here's my chameleon. Zoom out. Zoom out. And you can see how that's starting to take shape because I'm defining that background. All right, I think we're done for the evening. Oh, you better believe I'll rest well. Yeah, I'm going to upload my videos and then stuff my face with something and then do a face plant. Okay, guys, this is ILene Vick for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. And you're welcome, Julie. My pleasure. Guys, have fun. I'm so glad you could make it. Joyous, joyous coloring. We have a lot of fun. And until next time then, I will see you tomorrow night. Same time, same place, same channel. All right, guys. Take care. Bye.